Cześć, witam was bardzo serdecznie w trzeciej części Walkthrough Call of Cthulhu. Ostatnio skończyliśmy wychodząc z psychiatryka, a dzisiaj... Zobaczymy, co się wydarzy. No dobrze, jak byłam w tych podziemiach, to już myślałam, taka 4-godzinna gierka, mamy już za sobą, o kurwa, psychiatryk. Wcale nie, wiecie, miałam takie poczucie, nie no, wcale nie było tak źle, całkiem spoko, nie jest tak strasznie. A potem stwierdziłam, że ups, to chyba dopiero początek. Także no cóż, jeżeli nie oglądaliście poprzednich odcinków, to zapraszam, ja mam na imię Kaśka i bierzemy się do grania.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
To był chwilę przed tym, jak skończyłam. W związku z czym mamy do rozdania jeszcze punkty. Doświadczenia. I jesteśmy z powrotem w rezydencji Hawkinsów. Muszę przyznać, że fakt, że jest dzień, a nie środek nocy, sprawia, że zrobiło się tu przyjemniej.
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Sanders started screaming and convulsing.
Convulsing? That doesn't fit with his history.
Then his body got all crooked.
What in God's name? And you were alone with him?
He accused Sarah Hawkins
Fuck.
of being the culprit.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Cały czas wrócić do tego pokoju, w którym... Aha, dobra. Chciałam wrócić do tego pokoju, w którym spotkaliśmy osobę, która była wtedy uważana za złodzieja. Tam, gdzie pierwszy raz zobaczył nasz detektyw swój obraz. Znaczy obraz, na którym był namalowany. No i zobaczymy.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly, but he made a strong impression on me. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me, his own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders.
Kurde,
I won't be
żebyś
long.
mogła mi powiedzieć, co tak naprawdę się stało z mężem. No ale cóż, już w tej grze udowodniono mi, że muszę podejmować dobre decyzje za pierwszym razem, a nie kombinować się, zastanawiać. No dobra.
Did she really care for him after all? The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. A house of artists. A house of artists. Frances Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? He didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated. Was she jealous of Sarah Hawkins?
No, you don't.
The Shambler. I need to see it.
Szczerze, mam wrażenie, że lepszym rozwiązaniem byłoby nie oglądanie tego obrazu, ale zakładam, że... Czy ten obraz się ruszał? Czy to była kwestia ładowania?
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph. I could use one of those.
Dobra, pogadam z nią, póki tu jestem. To jest chyba ten tułacz.
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I have a well-off client in Boston who heard about the death of Francis Sanders and wanted me to size up his estate before making an offer to his widow.
Nice story. Bad lie. Learn how to dupe, Detective. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
Dobra.
All's fair in love and war, I suppose.
Ten jest na plus. Zakładam, że to nie ten obraz. Aha, dobra, on miał taką wypaśną galerię, taką korytarzową. Nie wiem.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes. I can't take any more. I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed
Który to
Sarah.
obraz w takim razie? Zrobiłam kółko. A, dobra.
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Okej.
The man transforms an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Super fryki. Chociaż oczywiście też lubię takie creepy rzeźby i obrazy. Że prawdopodobnie gdybym sama miała wybierać sobie obraz do domu, to też bym takie coś wybrała.
The public entrance to the gallery.
jest do lampy olej. Tak zdecydowanie, gdybym miała mieć galerię w domu, to taką, wiecie, oldschoolową, z rzeźbami. To nie są sfinksy, to są harpie. To są jak harpie. Kosty Jarkul!
Why was he so interested in
Narzędzi.
old weapons?
Czekajcie, zapalmy jakieś światło. Piękne. No dobra. Sprawdźmy, czy jeszcze jest tutaj coś do zbadania. Po tamtej stronie galerii już byliśmy. Czy to dziecko ma... Myślałam, że to dziecko ma 4 nogi, ale ono tylko... Dusi gęś? Tak. Typowe zabawy dzieci w tamtych czasach. Mam wrażenie, że nie powinnam oglądać tego obrazu, ale chyba nie mam wyjścia. Wiedziałam, że to będzie interesant. A teraz wejdę do obrazu. Spal to. Fakt, będę musiała przed tym uciekać. Jestem bardzo słaba w takie rzeczy. To znaczy, strasznie się stresuję.
What the hell was that?
Nie chcę. Fuck. Fuck. Kurwa. Chwila. Dobra, wiem, że w galerii są. Nie chcę. A, bo... Wiem, że w galerii są 2 szafy. Wiedziałam, kurna, że jak są szafy, to będę musiała się w nich chować, a ja nie chcę. I najgorsze jest to, że tam jest ciemno, a ja się boję zapalić latarnię, bo jak zapalę latarnię, to... A nie, to coś jest ślepe. To coś jest ślepe. Więc mogę używać latarni. Może mogę temu przyjebać latarni. Dobra. Spróbujemy. Fuck. Chyba już pomijam tą scenę, bo już nie chcę się drugi raz stresować. Powinnam mu zapalić latarnię.
What the hell was that?
Dobra, wypuszczam koniec, na tym kończę dzisiaj, bo to jest po prostu nie na moje nerwy, słuchajcie. To jest nie na moje nerwy. Ja pierdzielę. Ja nie wiem, co mam zrobić. No dobra, spróbujemy. Spróbuję się nie ruszać.
What the hell was that?
Nie, ja nie chcę!
I can't even touch it. No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it.
Ja pierdzielę. Krzysiek ma ze mnie chyba bekę.
Co?
Krzysiek ma ze mnie bekę.
Coś ci wybekę, co?
Znaczy ty masz ze mnie bekę.
Ja mam z ciebie bekę? Nie.
Ej, ale ja się stresuję!
Internet będzie miał z ciebie bekę.
Ja mam z siebie...
Raczej i pozostałe raki.
Powiem tak, ja mam z siebie bekę, także... Tak, ten testnik jest pewny.
What the hell was that?
Jako, że zdążę, tego w ogóle nie widzę, nie mam pojęcia, gdzie to jest. A podejrzewam, że jak wezmę... Tak, myślę, że... Mam się tego nie pozbyć. Serio? W sensie... Dobra. Ale już się nie stresuję tak bardzo. Już przywykłam do tego, że się będę tego bała.
What the hell was that?
Nie? Dogram resztę. Bardzo się stresuję. Może znajdę, jak to w ogóle zabić w internecie. Może trochę biegam po omacku. Może powinna... Znaczy... Mam pewne swoje podejrzenia. Ale to zobaczymy jutro. Także... Wy widzicie mnie za chwilę, ja się widzę z wami jutro. Okej. Wracam po kilkudniowej przerwie. Pozwoliłam sobie dowiedzieć się, jak rozwalić tego... On ma swoją nazwę. Tułacza. Chyba tak powinnam o nim mówić. I zobaczymy, czy to coś mi da. Czekajcie. Dobra. Także stwierdziłam, że wolę sprawdzić w internecie, jak to ogarnąć, niż samemu kombinować. I swoim osobistym zdaniem słusznie zrobiłam, także chcę mieć przyjemność z gry, a nie utknąć w jednym punkcie, no nie wiadomo jak długo, tylko po to, żeby samemu dojść do rozwiązania. Szczególnie, że w sumie było to jedno z 2 sensownych rozwiązań po tym, co widzieliście już wcześniej, także lecimy. Tę scenkę widzieliście.
What the hell was that?
Nic nie widzę. Aj. Muszę sobie rozjaśnić trochę ekran, bo absolutnie nic nie widzę.
What the hell was that?
Kurwa! Nie no, serio, ja nic nie widzę po prostu, co robię. Kompletnie.
To jest jak jakaś bardziej
What the hell was that?
Pogodną, tak? Pogodną?
Papa. Mogę ci polecić... tak. Alien.
Isolation. Czekajcie, może mi się uda.
Down. This dagger looks different.
A, biegnij! Tak! Po wielu próbach i błędach.
What's the matter with you? You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Cieszę się, że mam to za sobą. Czekajcie, wrócę do normalnych ustawień ekranu. Lepiej. Moje życie jest bardzo stresujące.
Where's the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century. Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Dobra, zaraz.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. What does this strange book contain? This book contains unholy knowledge.
Hello?
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work. Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What killed all these animals? What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What the... Charles Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case. Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Życie i nauka stają się w świecie Greków. Życie i nauka. Jezu, nie pamiętam jak to się nazywa. Ale chyba wiem o co chodzi. Tutaj byłam. Przyporządkowany numer, chociaż jak mówię... Okay.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet? Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Tak. Dobra.
Arkham editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Czekajcie, bo...
Arkham Editions. Never heard of them. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Dobra. Czyli tak, to są te książki. A nam zależy na czymś, co jest... Jak to było? Kwipunek. Ukryty tam, gdzie życie i nauka splatają się w świecie Greków. Życie i nauka. Życie i nauka splatają się w kulturze Greków. O!
Things are not looking good.
Prawdopodobnie osoby, które teraz to oglądały i są zaraz po... znaczy są w szkole, to wskazówka pod tytułem Splatanie się życia i nauki Greków więcej mówi niż mi. W związku z czym chyba będzie to trzeba zrobić tak na Jana. Tak to określę. No kurde, to powinno być gdzieś tu przecież przy mitologii, nie? Tak przynajmniej bym rozumiała. No bo dla Greków mitologia to była... To były i wytyczne w życiu, i jakby prawda taka, nazwijmy to, naukowa. Trzy cylindry. Nie ma tu żadnych cylindrów, kurna, no. To są cylindry. Takie na książki, znaczy na mapy, manuskrypty. Czego ja w ogóle szukam? O!
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Gdzieś tu był gramofon. Sorry.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9 Azathoth and other horrors seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Sąsiedzi postanowili wiercić w ścianie, ale wydaje mi się, że tak. Na szachownicy to jest druga i wydaje mi się, że tutaj chodzi o liczbę białych figur, które bronią królowej. Czyli mamy 3 białe figury. Drogą wydaje mi się, że w szachach to trzeba zbić króla. Ale dobra. W pierwszej części było coś mówione o 4 i w ostatniej o 9, także spróbujemy 4, 3, 9. No dobra. Ej, sorki. 4. 3. 9. Nie. Zobaczmy, czy tutaj nie chodzi o 4. Chociażby 2 pionki zbite. Więc 2, nie. 6. 5. 6. Chyba czekajcie, idę jeszcze raz posłuchać. Bo szczerze mówiąc, nie do końca słyszałem pierwszą tą wypowiedź, bo zaczęli wiercić. Także przesłucham jeszcze raz.
And these red rocks, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Aj, sorki. O, widzicie, przez to, że zaczęli wiercić, to słyszałam, w sensie przeczytałam, nie wiem dlaczego, nie wnikam. Nie czerwone, tylko 4. Dobra, potrzebujemy czerwone kropki w jakiejś koronie czy coś. Czy może chodzić o to... Oj. Ile jest ramion? Więc to by było 5, tutaj wrócimy do 3. Tak. Czemu ty to przeglądasz, idioto? Oko Saurona. Tylko zielone. No to mam przejebane.
This man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Very well. I'll examine him. His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body. 30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor, after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Tak.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Mam podejście chirurgiczne, jak nie wiadomo co to jest, trzeba to wychlastać.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
Zamienia się w ośmiornicę.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
Wsadźmy go do akwarium.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
I've seen suction cups on his fingers, his falling body temperature, his dehydration. Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
Dobra, rozejrzymy się po planie.
Doctor, please. My chest.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
To było klaskanie. Jestem pod wrażeniem. To znaczy... Takie było mniej więcej postępowanie.
Hay fever. What's he doing here?
Zarówno zbyt wysoki, jak i zbyt niski poziom potasu może prowadzić do zaburzeń rytmu serca.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
Ah, the whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, is that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back?
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Why did nobody tell me about her admission?
No w ogóle nie wygląda jak człowiek.
Mrs. Sanders?
Czy ona jest człowiekiem?
What is the boiler room key doing here? The key to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. Intoxication from breathing organic vapors. Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination. He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.
Nie no, przepraszam, pielęgniarki są bardzo ważne i wiele pielęgniarek jest absolutnie świetnymi fachowcami i warto ich słuchać. Bez względu na to, czy jest się lekarzem, czy studentem, czy kimkolwiek, bo dużo można się dowiedzieć. No dobra. Chyba tu wszystkich pacjentów spotkałam.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I'm sorry. Dr. Fuller is a very busy man.
Well, is there anyone else who can tell us what's going on?
She's our only family, you know? And we can't even see her medical file.
Don't worry. I'm aware our institution is not always welcoming. But your mother is in good hands. I'll tend to her myself, and keep you informed at once. Would that suit you?
Well, that sure sounds great to us, Doctor. Thank you.
But those are just words, so we're not budging.
Very well. At least I'll know where to find you.
Tutaj jakaś kobieta leżała... Tu?
Ah, so there's Harding. She's still sleeping. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
So, Doctor, have you been able to examine our mother?
Pardon me, but could you remind me what...
We're waiting. She came in.
No, dobra.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan?
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
Oh, well. At least we won't have to clean for a while.
And just wait and see the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
this up.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Come now. Don't let that witch sap your morale. We're lacking in qualified personnel, and she knows it. Her petty punishments won't last forever.
I'm trying, Doctor. I'm trying. It's just that sometimes I imagine she shuts down the water herself, just for the pleasure of harassing me.
Her time is much too precious for these kind of petty games.
Anyway, I've learned my lesson. I'll hold my tongue next time.
Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
It's temperamental, if I understand correctly. Chronic insomnia, like half the island. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office. The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high. We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment. We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do. Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going? Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
Dobra, jeszcze podejrzewam, że potrzebuję tego do boilera. Kluczyka.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait. Ethan.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
You're not here for treatment, right?
Am I so obvious?
Only to me. I know you worry about me.
I trust you. I'm happy to see you.
Me too, Ethan. Is that all?
Well, there might be something else. I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie. I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with work.
Dr. Colden.
Dobra, muszę znaleźć, gdzie są boilery.
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory.
Okej.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Boiler. Zakładam, że mogę tu wejść, ale mogę z tym lekarzem.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
Czy tym narzędziem nie mógłby być jakiś facet? Tam przy wyjściu stał. The tool. The tool's here. Zresztą z tym gdzie mam znaleźć narzędzia, tam. Station buff. Narzędzie. O kurde. Ktoś widzi jakieś narzędzie? Trzeba się tu przyjść. Na drzwi coś przyjechało. Znajdź narzędzie.
The operating room is never accessible after an operation. Let's hope I can go through the administration office. There's no way I'm leaving until I find what Fuller is hiding.
Awesome.
This man, Edward Pierce, his file is incomplete. What did Fuller do to him? In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
Thank you for your help, Doctor.
Thank you. I'll be going.
Dobra, przepraszam.
I can shut this with bare hands. I need a tool.
Proszę narzędzia. Wejdźmy na narzędzie. Znaleźć. O! Jak to się wkurza. W sensie. Kiedy głupi jest.
It's a little right. Hold on. Courage, mistake.
W sensie. Nie wiem co znaleźć. Nie wiem co znaleźć. Nie wiem co znaleźć. Ja nie wiem co znaleźć. Ja wiem co znaleźć.
The answer must be in the Fuller's office.
Strzelę do jego. Jeszcze raz. Dobra. kompletnie spierdoli. Zobacz tu klucz francuski. Dobra.
I feel guilty about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
Gdzie to było? Gdzie to było?
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Dr. Colden?
Ja to się chyba gdzieś tu zgubiłam. Bathroom man. Dobra, tu miałam iść.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here. Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle. I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
Conclusions. Session number 17. Patient? Sarah Hawkins. The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos. It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price that comes with her exceptional gifts.
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key. But I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
Why is Ethan on medication? The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him. I presume that he will try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
It is fortunate that I had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings. In the meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Of course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection. This finger belonged to a woman. Why keep it here? I must go back to the basement.
Nie no, uroczo to. Po prostu przeuroczo. Gdzie ta krew na podłodze? To fajnie generalnie jest.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
Oops.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly. Talk, filthy thief! Or I swear I'll shoot!
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you! Now you won't be able to escape his will! What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me. You might need my help.
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake.
Dobra, i słuchajcie... Dobra, niech pojedzie. I zaraz dokończę mówić. Myślę, że na tym skończymy dzisiaj. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobało. Przepraszam za cięcia, ale miałam pewne trudności z rozwiązaniem niektórych jakże skomplikowanych zadań, takich jak na przykład znalezienie klucza. W związku z czym nie wiem, na ile mi się to uda, tak wiecie, płynnie zrobić. Natomiast komentujcie, lajkujcie, subskrybujcie, udostępniajcie i takie tam inne. I widzę się z Wami za niedługo. Do zobaczenia. Pa, pa!